Tonight, we peel back the polished surface of New South Wales. Forget the sun-drenched beaches and the glittering harbour. We are entering the silence. The chilling spaces where violence, desperation and isolation have left a permanent, ragged scar on the landscape. This is a journey through 10 locations, from the darkest tunnels of the Blue Mountains to the grand, tormented heart of Australia's most haunted house, where the victims, the criminals, and the forgotten souls refuse to rest. Listen closely. The living are guests here. 10. Jenolan Caves, Blue Mountains. Welcome to the heart of the Blue Mountains, New South Wales, and the world's oldest open cave system, Jenolan Caves. Before the whispers of the dead, this vast, spectacular limestone labyrinth was known to the local Gundungurra people as Binumia, or dark places, a site of powerful spiritual significance. The colonial chapter began in 1838 with its discovery and eventual control by the New South Wales government, leading to its development into a massive tourist attraction complete with the Grand Caves House. But the beauty here hides a cold presence. The most famous spirit is thought to be James Carvosso Wybird, who served as the cave's keeper for almost 50 years until his death in 1942. His deep love for the underground realm has bound him to it. Paranormal encounters are often felt deep beneath the earth. Guides and visitors have reported being tapped on the shoulder by an unseen hand, only to turn and find the tour group well behind them. Others have seen the unsettling apparition of an older man in a crumpled, antiquated suit, widely believed to be Wybird himself, watching them from a dark recess before vanishing instantly. It's a place where the ancient darkness seems to hold not just geological wonders, but the loyal, lingering souls of its past guardians. Nine. Studley Park House, Camden. Nestled amidst rolling green hills in Camden, New South Wales, stands the imposing Victorian Italianate mansion, Studley Park House. Built in 1889, its pre-haunted history saw it transform from a grand private estate to the Camden Grammar School, and later served as a military training school during World War II. But it was a site marked by profound tragedy. The house's haunted identity solidified with the deaths of 2 young boys. The first was 14-year-old Ray Blackstone, a schoolboy who drowned in the nearby dam in 1909. His small, lifeless body was shockingly kept in the house's dark cellar before burial. Years later, the 13-year-old son of a subsequent owner, Noel William Gregory, tragically died of appendicitis in the house's theatrette. Today, the mansion is dominated by the spirits of these innocent children. Paranormal investigators frequently report the distinct sound of children's laughter and playing echoing through the abandoned halls. Others feel a strong, sorrowful chill, and the shadow of the lonely woman, believed to be a grieving figure waiting for a man who never returned, is said to linger in the tower. The house itself seems to hold the perpetual grief of a mother and the playful innocence of boys who never got to grow up. 8. Darlinghurst Gaol, Darlinghurst. Gaze upon the magnificent sandstone walls in Darlinghurst, New South Wales, and you're looking at what was once Darlinghurst Gaol, now the prestigious National Art School. From 1841 to 1914, this was a place of sheer human misery, where overcrowding, squalid conditions, and starvation earned it the nickname Starvinghurst Gaol. Its darkest chapter saw 76 executions take place. The jail's haunted atmosphere is directly tied to the men and women who met a cruel end here. After the prison closed and was repurposed, the spirits did not depart. Students and staff have reported chilling encounters, especially around the former execution site. Paranormal activity includes the sound of disembodied whispers and heavy footsteps in empty cell blocks. Visitors on tours have reported feeling cold. Heavy hands clamp onto their shoulders in the darkness, and a sense of suffocating dread in the cells. The energy of 76 souls violently separated from their bodies is said to remain embedded in the very sandstone. Seven. Wakehurst Parkway, Sydney. Running through Sydney's northern suburbs in New South Wales, Wakehurst Parkway is a notorious stretch of road dubbed Australia's most haunted highway. Its history is a dark blend of urban legend and actual tragedy. The most famous haunting is that of the Lady in White, who appears to drivers late at night. Legend claims she was a young woman who died tragically in a car crash on the road. The real-life encounters are terrifyingly consistent. Drivers report seeing a female figure suddenly appear in the passenger seat. If the driver doesn't acknowledge her, it's said she can cause the car to malfunction or steer it off the road. Others have had headlights flicker, car doors lock themselves, and experienced an inexplicable freezing drop in temperature, confirming that something or someone is desperate to leave this stretch of asphalt. Six, Cockatoo Island, Sydney Harbour. Looming large in Sydney Harbour, New South Wales, Cockatoo Island, or Warriama as it is known to the First Nations people, has witnessed over a century and a half of relentless hardship. Its history is divided into two brutal eras. First, as a convict penal establishment, and second, as a major naval dockyard. The island was a site of forced labor, desperation, and death. Its dark past remains palpable, particularly in the convict-era buildings and tunnels. Real encounters are numerous. Visitors report hearing the ghostly clanging of metal tools and machinery in the abandoned workshops. Chillingly, people have heard the distressed, disembodied yells and coughs of convicts echoing from the solitary cells. Security guards have filed reports of shadowy figures and light anomalies in the darkness, all pointing to the presence of restless souls still serving their life sentences on the island. You've travelled the dark roads and convict prisons of New South Wales. Now, brace yourself for the hospitals, quarantine stations, and Australia's most intensely haunted house. These are the stories of souls who never checked out. 5. Gladesville Mental Hospital, Gladesville. Along the banks of the Parramatta River in Gladesville, New South Wales, stands a sprawling, grim collection of sandstone buildings. The former Gladesville Mental Hospital, established in 1838. Its history is a harrowing tale of confinement and forgotten suffering. Over 1,200 individuals, the majority of whom were unnamed, were buried in unmarked graves on the site, their identities lost to history and neglect. This profound sadness saturates the old wards. Staff have recounted terrifying experiences of sudden, inexplicable fear when alone in the vast empty wings. The most intense encounters occur near the unmarked cemetery. Visitors have heard the distressed, faint sounds of weeping and whispering carried on the wind. Inside the deserted buildings, witnesses have seen shadowy, fleeting figures darting through the hallways and have felt icy presences rush past them, a chilling reminder of the thousands of troubled souls trapped. Four, Maitland Gaol, Maitland. For over 150 years, Maitland Gaol in East Maitland, New South Wales, served as one of Australia's most notorious maximum security prisons. Its history is a brutal chronicle of violence, isolation and death, being the site of 16 hangings. The sheer volume of suffering and violence has left an indelible stain. The jail's many victims, both inmates and staff, are said to remain. Guests have described being grabbed, scratched or pushed by unseen hands inside the narrow cells. The most chilling encounters often happen in A Wing, with visitors hearing disembodied footsteps and the unsettling sound of a man coughing violently in a solitary cell, a noise that abruptly cuts out. Chillingly, cell doors slam shut on their own. It's a place where the echoes of institutional violence are deafening. 3. The Rocks, Sydney Harbour. The Rocks, situated right on Sydney Harbour in New South Wales, is the birthplace of modern Australia. Its history, dating back to 1788, is one of convicts, disease, murder, and poverty. This historic precinct is not haunted by one entity, but by a community of restless spirits. The most famous hauntings centre around its oldest structures, particularly the hero of Waterloo Hotel. At the hero of Waterloo, the ghost of Anne Kirkman, a former landlady who was allegedly murdered and cemented into the cellar walls, is often seen. Guests report a chilling draft and the sound of her footsteps crossing the bar or descending into the old storage tunnel. Elsewhere in the rocks, shadowy figures are sighted around Cadman's cottage, and paranormal investigators often pick up strong emotional energy from the old stone where so many people met sudden, violent ends. Two, Q Station, North Head, Manly. The Q Station, or Quarantine Station, operated from 1832 until 1984. It was the entry point for thousands of immigrants, acting as a crucial barrier against deadly diseases. Over 500 people are known to have died and been buried on the site. The Q Station is regarded as one of Australia's most consistently haunted locations. The souls of the quarantined, the nurses, and the doctors still linger. Visitors and guests regularly report a vast range of encounters: disembodied voices and moans from the former hospital wards, and full-body apparitions of women in white dresses near the showers. In the former third-class accommodation, the most haunted area, people have heard phantom children laughing and playing. The energy is intense and varied, a collection of forgotten, isolated souls desperate to be acknowledged. One, Monte Cristo Homestead, Junee. Finally, we arrive at the most famous and chilling location on our list, Monte Cristo Homestead in Junee, New South Wales, widely known as Australia's most haunted house. Built in 1885, the Victorian manor's history is a relentless sequence of tragic deaths and horrifying misfortunes. Among the tragedies, the Crawleys' 10-month-old granddaughter died after being accidentally dropped down the main staircase. A stable boy was burned alive in the coach house, and a pregnant maid threw herself from a balcony to her death. The spirit of Mrs. Crawley is seen standing on the balcony or felt touching visitors with an icy cold hand if they show poor manners. Distressed visitors report hearing the terrifying, agonized screams of the stable boy from the old coach house. Most chillingly, the ghost of the little girl is associated with the main stairs, where visitors, especially children, report feeling pushed or sensing an overwhelming, unseen presence, making Monte Cristo a powerful nexus of long-dead grief and violence. From the remote isolation of the Blue Mountains to the heart of Sydney Harbour, these 10 locations stand as monuments to the untold tragedies of New South Wales. Next time you visit, listen closely. The past is not silent. Thank you for listening to Haunted New South Wales.